Hi there, this is Book of Mormon Reader, and I want to answer a question that I got. And normally I don't do this, I don't really consider myself a gospel scholar. And I thought, for this question, I don't need to be a gospel scholar because this is just something that really begs the, um, it just begs even logic to do this. And this is what I'm responding to. I don't know if this person wants me to say their name or not, and so in the interest of keeping anonymity, treasured, I will refrain, but he can, or she can, I don't know if it's male or female, can make comments if they want to on this video. Okay, and the other reason why I'm answering this question or responding to this in a video a certain way is to let you know that I do read all your comments and I do read all your questions, and they don't go unnoticed. There are certain times when I'm really working on other things. I have 5 other YouTube channels. I just got called to be the director in my road show and in my church function. I teach Sunday school, and so I have a lot of things going on, and so sometimes I just can't quite get to everything. But I do know that I do receive your comments and I do receive your questions. So also tonight I saw a little segment on Mormon Answer Man where he did some question answers, and I thought he did a superb job. The music was a little distracting, but that's his thing, I guess. I like to deliver things just pure and simple and keep it so that, it's all about the content, not so much about the style, which is funny because I love being about style too and in some of my other things. But here was the concern, and this is not the only inquiry or comment that I have received of this nature, and I'm not the only person to address this. I've heard general authorities, the apostles, prophets have talked about this, and so I think it's a legitimate concern. I absolutely think it's a legitimate concern, and I'm just going to give you my thoughtful response on it. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay too, but I respect your right to question it, and I actually applaud your right to question it because I absolutely I don't have blinders on, and I've often wondered the same question myself. So time is an interesting thing, and perhaps in the future we'll see other things, but for now this is how it is. And so there are lots of things, I'm sure, in life that we don't have the answers for, and I think that a lot of it has to do with a lot of it has to do with certain measures of faith. So okay, so here we go. Here's the question. Okay, tagline, where the evidence points. Absolutely no physical evidence whatsoever showing large civilizations of Mormon heritage is South America, as are claimed by the church. No evidence of the so-called Jaredite or Nephite empires spoke about by the Mormon church. Why? Where is the one single piece of tangible evidence for the large Lamanite civilization that Mormons claimed was thriving in South America? There has never been so much as a pot or a coin or housing or a tablet ever found. Don't you find that peculiar? The Bible speaks of the Canaanites and of the Philistines, which are no longer here, yet there is literally tons of physical evidence to prove they did exist. We all must give a reason for the faith that we follow, Mormon or Christian. I appreciate your question. I appreciate your inquiry, and I'm just going to share my response. Here is what I said. The tangible evidence is the plates from which the ancient records were transcribed. The golden plates that Joseph Smith received that were buried for a long, long time in the Hill Cumorah. The fact that you nor I didn't see them or handle them does not negate the fact that they existed. I never saw many things, but because of the witness of others, I believe. God is a God of faith. Instead of being a doubting Thomas, switch your view. What if it is true? Further, logic itself, truly studied the origin, would blatantly proclaim that there is no way that Joseph Smith, an uneducated man, could have produced such a document. complete with different author styles, chiasmus, which is an ancient form of poetry, along with a full description of money systems. You said no coins, but yet he described a full-on money system. Why? Because he didn't describe it. He was just transcribing ancient records. Surely, if he had, the forethought that he might be considered a fraud if he was making things up, he wouldn't have included something that was so darn specific. If you believe the Bible and the God of the Bible, who has used prophets since the beginning of time, why is it so hard to fathom that his pattern would continue to our day? Does he love us less? Was it not prophesied that there would be a falling away before there was a restoration? Now, in my response, which was thoughtful, it's not a huge, big scholarly response, but it's right from my heart and it's from my mind too, because I absolutely appreciate your concern, and I've asked the same question too, and I thought, what happened with all those people, in that big bloody battle? Well, one thought that came to me, in my inquiring mind was when the last person was there and witnessed the total destruction and described the stench of the earth from all these dead bodies that slayed each other, there was no one there to bury them. And so the wild beasts came and they were decomposed faster than they would have been had they been properly prepared for burial. Now, I know that there are probably going to be people who, want to refute and think that I'm, inviting a fight. I'm not. I don't need you to argue with my viewpoint. I don't need you to point out how I'm wrong or whatever. I really don't. I'm just offering my viewpoint so that you can get inside the mind of just a regular, I'm just a regular person. And, you might think that I'm, whatever you think. I'm just offering you my response, my thoughtful response. So I do appreciate your inquiry, and I welcome whatever. I mean, I respect that it was asked to me in a respectful, intelligent way, with a sincere intent. And a lot of the comments and questions that I get really show me that there is just ignorance, and not in a in a rude way, but just ignorance about what is out there with regards to beliefs that we hold. And there's just so many things that have been said that just let me say, you obviously haven't studied, or whatever. So I do appreciate your question, and this is just my quick response. I don't usually film this time of day or whatever, but I did want to address it so you know that I did receive it and that I did consider it. So thanks for watching. I'm Book of Mormon Reader.